Hi guys, and welcome back to another Total Oz Spurs live. I'm joined today by Nene and Lee. Delay will be joining us later on. How are you, boys?
Good, mate. Good. How are you?
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
good,
good. Lee,
brother.
what about
I'm
you?
good, brother. I'm good.
You're good.
I'm good.
So we today we're going to cover the preview for the Champions League. But before we get into that, I want to get your final thoughts on the weekend and the games, the days leading up to the game tomorrow morning.
I thought, right, not to toot my own horn here, but I think I pretty much got it right with the Fulham game. I called it the 2-1, so that was a given. We'd be 2-0 up, and then they'd score. I said 70th minute, but they scored the 84th or something minute, and they didn't dominate us from then on out, so I got that wrong. But we definitely slipped a little bit. Mitrovic's goal was it's just what Mitrovic does. Other than that, very solid game. Probably one of our best games all year. Especially, hang on, Merv.
Sit in
Especially,
the tunnel.
especially when we haven't been looking too good, and Fulham have had some decent results in the league so far. I think it was a pretty solid game all round by us.
Yeah, I can't disagree. Any more thoughts on that, Lee, before we move on?
Yeah, no, I think Nene hit the nail on the head when he said that. I personally thought as well that Fulham will come out very strong, but from the first whistle, I think we played our game very well. Best game that I've seen us play, this season so far. Very strong, very gelled. But yeah, no, it was good to see, and the 2-1 result, like we should have kept a clean sheet there, but to be honest, you couldn't fault that goal. Mitrovic banged that in quite well, and it was a good goal. But yeah, no, I was quite pleased with the boys how they played, and just shows what's up and coming for us. To be fair,
One thing to take out of that game, I think, is how important Bentancur is to our team.
yeah, definitely, bro.
Yeah, we missed. I think we missed him
Yeah,
last
yeah,
week
absolutely.
against Wet Spam. Basuma's
I,
fantastic, and he's still
Yeah,
growing into the role. But Bentancur is just our main man.
he was
He's
by
just
far the
he's
best player, to be honest, on the field.
yeah, yeah.
Absolutely, he bossed it. Like we,
Him
we were
him or
saying it.
Richie, him or
Yeah,
Richie. I
yeah,
reckon.
yeah. Well, I was even saying to Jay as well the other day, um, uh, Richarlison and Royale, like their pressure during the game, and Royale had a great game.
I thought Royale
He had
played
a
great
great.
too.
He did. He had an awesome game. And
Oi,
but
here he
yeah,
is.
no,
G'day,
oh
mate.
here he is.
There he
What's
is.
going on, boys? How are
Yeah,
All
it's
right, bro.
going on, man.
you? Yeah,
But
good,
yeah,
boys.
no,
Good.
like it was good, like and Benton Core, he just played, with that little flakiness and that little finesse, and he brought our midfield, what we've needed for a while, to be honest.
Yeah.
And we did miss him when he wasn't there. What do you reckon, D?
As I said in my fan cam, I think, yeah, look, it's just unlucky for Son to miss those goals.
Oh
Richie
yeah.
also, and that
Badly.
offside one. It's just unlucky. And also, as you boys touched on, Bentancur, I have to say, was man of the match.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but Kane, he did do all right, but I think Bentancur was just
Yeah,
outstanding.
definitely.
I
Coming
think.
from a
Sorry.
head injury,
Yeah.
he literally just didn't look like he was injured at all. He was
I
just
think all
going
Spurs
up and
fans would
down.
agree with you on that one, to be honest.
Yeah, 100%, man. Like I just
Uh,
think he was just outstanding.
I'd say if you put any other half decent striker where Kane was, well, you wouldn't have noticed on the weekend. But if you put any
Yeah.
other midfielder where Bentancur was, it is a totally different game.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
100%, man. 100%.
That and just
But-
before we move on, Langley, fucking
Oof.
weapon. He should be starting
Yeah,
every
filth.
fucking week
Yeah.
now.
Filth.
His ball distribution from the back is fucking what we've been missing.
Oh yeah,
He's
definitely.
crazy.
Well, I think
Definitely
with
not.
this system, that's what we need, and Ramirez a lot more comfortable than. Well, they call it the bozo gene that they say Gabriel has for Arsenal,
Yeah,
and I feel
yeah,
like Sanchez has that. He has a bozo gene where he can do amazing during the whole game. Then he has his one or two times where he can just fuck it up and it ends up being a goal.
Yeah.
So I think with Romero and Langley in the back, I think that's our starting three with Dyer in the middle. Dyer's not going to be moved. I feel like everyone says he's not good enough, but he's looked
He
the
shows
best
up.
he ever has.
Yeah, he shows up.
and he's just consistently decent. Yeah, he's shit every
That's-
now and then.
yeah.
But he's just consistently
But
decent.
there was a bit of a fault, though, to be honest, when Matchridge scored. He should have just moved up, put pressure on. But you know what? I'm still not mad at that. Like, to be honest, he's been solid.
I do feel like sometimes he labours too much on his role as I'm gonna be the central midfield, defensive defender. So the left and right centre back have to cover.
Yeah.
And I do think he thought, Romero's got Mitrovic wrapped up like it's Romero. But unfortunately, Romero did that nice little touch, sent Romero to the other way. Sorry, Mitrovic did the nice touch, sent Romero the other way, and then curled it. So I don't think there was much that Adai really could have done apart from try and close the space down. But I still think Mitrovic scores there.
I was going to say, even if he shuts that space down, the place where he put it, even if Dyer moved forward, Laurie still couldn't see the ball, so it didn't even really matter. It was scoring that goal.
I just think Lenglet and Romero. I just think Lenglet and Romero look comfortable on the ball. To be honest, I think they just look way more comfortable than a Sanchez or Davies.
Well, Romero, he's a boss, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's our leader in defense. He's the one that sets the pace. I feel like if he hasn't lately, but if he's to have a bad game, the rest of our defense is going to have a bad game.
100%.
Shout out to the niece. That's not the niece, but that's her mum. But shout out to the niece. Or nephew.
It must be one of the. It must be
nephew.
Yeah, one of the
Whichever
nieces
one
or
it
nephews.
is.
I'm not sure. It's one of them. Hello.
Before we
Glad
jump
you're watching.
into our game that's going on in the morning, I want to run through some of the results of the games that played this morning. And yesterday morning. Is yesterday? No, today's Tuesday. Can't remember.
Today, all day.
So we had Dortmund absolutely sent Copenhagen to the sword. So it's 3-0. Chelsea lost 1-0 this morning.
Oh, what's that game?
I mean, I'm not mad about that.
Neither am I.
Benfica won 2-0 against Maccabi Haifa. Even though Celtic played really well in the first half and could have actually been 2-0 up in the first 15 minutes, they eventually went down to Real Madrid. What's really good about that game is Ange, Australian coach, the Celtic faithful were singing his name 3-0 down, so he must be doing something right.
Yeah,
he used to go to Socceroos back in the day.
Yeah, he's had a few good clubs, but this is the first big club he's had, and he's actually doing pretty well.
He's doing really well. Yeah.
Smack Rangers 4-1 the other day.
Good on him.
Well, there was talks. Sorry to rant a little bit, but there was talks about him taking over from Pep last year. If Pep was to get the sack,
no, he's not.
I don't see that happening.
I don't see it happening, but obviously people rate him pretty highly.
Like Andrew's good, but he's not a Pep. You know what I mean?
No, 100%. I agree. But if there's whispers there talking about him joining a massive club like Man City. Like obviously he's doing his job well.
Oh, 100%, 100%, and it's proven. Like it's.
You love to see an Aussie doing good on the big stage. Like you just love.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, not until they start getting big-headed, but we're not going to go there. we're not going to create the English Australian. So carrying on, we had PSG beat Juventus 2-1. I was actually that was a pretty.
That was dangerous, eh?
Yeah, Mbappe scored a double at the start, but Juventus came back in the second half. And then this one was a bit shocking to me because I didn't think that this would happen. But Shakhtar beat Leipzig 4-1.
4-1. Demolished.
4-1. Honestly.
And then
who would have seen that? Sorry.
AC Milan drew 1-1 with Salzburg.
Yeah. See, it just goes to show the competition. You know what I mean? Like you can't sleep on nobody.
Yeah, exactly.
And there's some results there that I was even questioning. Like I questioned myself, thinking, "Wow, like I did not think it would end that way." But hey, it's football. It's what it is.
100%.
Yeah. And the round the Tuesday games off. It's Man City 4-0 with Haaland scoring 25 goals and 25 Champions League goals and 20 Champions League.
You know what? On that subject, you know how it used to be Messi and Ronaldo. All right, now it's Mbappe, all right, and Haaland. Yeah, slow me word there, but I'm serious. Like it's changed now.
They are the new generation.
You know? Yeah, it's not like all about Cristiano Ronaldo and Messi now.
Can I
it's
just
about
put
these two
youngsters?
youngsters. Yeah, go.
Haaland's going to be the GOAT for this
I
generation.
think so. I think
if
so
he
too.
continues on the trajectory he's on, he is going to be insane. He is
I think so.
is everything you want in a striker. Strong,
Yeah.
powerful, can just do it all.
Yeah.
And
He's a
the link up
weapon,
with De Bruyne,
honestly.
if he has De Bruyne sit behind him for 2 or 3 years, he's going to crack 30, 40 goals in the prep.
Yeah.
I'm not.
You know what? I'm going to
it's
say
hard to
golden
crack
boot
more than
now.
30,
I'm going to
but
say
I
golden
think
boot.
he will be golden boot every year until De Bruyne either retires or
They move
ends
him
up
on.
falling off a cliff. But De Bruyne is
Yeah.
that type of player where he's never been focused on his pace. He's to me, he's kind of like Kane. He's not about pace. He's about all the other stuff that he does. And you don't lose technique as fast as you lose pace. And he's stocky. He's like Kane. He's got the strength as well. So I feel like if
just put a ball anywhere, man,
then until the day he retires, and he'll probably end up becoming a club ambassador or a coach. So Haaland's going to be banging in goals for the next 4 or 5 seasons, 30 plus if he stays at City and they keep going the way they're going.
This year, especially, I think it's going to be very hard to be. He's already on 9 goals. What is it?
He scored 12 goals in 7 games.
Yeah, in 7 games.
If you count Champions League,
in the Prem alone, I reckon he's going to score 40 plus because teams just don't know how to handle him yet. It's just going to be one of those years.
He's bossing it.
He's going to destroy the entire league until people try and sort out how to beat him. And there's weaknesses to everyone's game, but.
At the moment, you don't see his. You don't see it.
Oh, I do. It's just he's built for the Premier League. He's physical. He's fast. Yeah. You saw like against Crystal Palace. Like Gay, he's not a. He's like he was lined up for England. Like he's not a shit defender.
Yeah.
He played 2 seasons in the Premier League. He's young. He's not as big and robust as Haaland is, but. Haaland swatted him away like he was a fly when he banged in his third against Crystal Palace.
He's just dangerous, man.
And he's quick, and he's super quick. You see him winding up, you don't realize how quick he is.
Yeah.
He's got like the Usain Bolt pace.
I was about to say the same thing.
Yeah.
He just
once he's on, that's it. You ain't
but Usain Bolt in the same sense of like he takes less steps than everyone. He's just got that fucking long ass stride.
Yeah.
He just caught you in 3 steps. Like how the fuck's he done that?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, he's looking real scary.
For a young bloke too, he's smart. Like he evaluates the game well. You know what I mean?
He knows where
he creates that space. Yeah, he
knows where
he creates it. He knows put the ball here. I'll make it.
Yeah,
he's confident too. So, and a player like that, obviously, over the years we've seen him play. In the Bundesliga and that, like he's a very confident and skillful player. And when he backs himself, 9 times out of 10, he's scoring.
Too bad he's not going to get a goal this weekend, but unlucky us.
Exactly.
Unlucky us.
We're going to run over the Champions League groups, so everyone remembers who's in our group, because we're going to talk about Tottenham. So we have Frankfurt, Sporting Lisbon, and Marseille in our group, and we have Marseille first up. So leading on to the game tomorrow morning, boys. Before we go into our predictions and how we're feeling about the game, I want to run through Marseille's team first. Actually, no, I'll run through our team first because we've announced our 25. So it's Hugo, Fraser Foster, and Brandon Austin as the 3 goalkeepers. Doherty, Sanchez, Emerson, Dyer, Romero, Cess, Spence, which I'm actually quite surprised he got picked. Tanganga, which I'm also surprised. Davies and Lenglet as the defenders. In midfield, we're taking Skippy, Højbjerg, Sonaldo, Perisic, Kulusevski. Sarr is going, which I didn't think he would. Bentancur, Basuma, and Harvey White. And then up front, we've only got 4, and it's Richarlison, Harry Clase, Brian Hill, and Lucas Moura. So I don't think anyone is missing that we would usually take.
No. Yeah, I think that's our full squad.
I think that's our squad that we're going to pretty much compete with both the Prem and the Champions League with. What do we like about the youngsters? So obviously Hill, Pape Sarr, Harvey White. Do you think they're going to feature, or do you think they're just there to make up the numbers for the 25-man squad?
They do making up numbers, surely. Maybe against Sporting or Frankfurt, but Frankfurt's a pretty decent team. Sporting's the Eric Dyer Cup.
Frankfurt won the Europa League last year.
Yeah, exactly. So they're a little bit scary, but I honestly think the majority of the games, unless we've just bossed the whole thing, and the last 2 group stages are kind of null and void. I don't see them getting much of a run.
That's what I kind of want.
Yeah.
For us to boss the first 4 games, guarantee first place, because we got to think there's a couple of groups there that have 2 or 3 big teams, and I'm not saying I'm scared of playing them, because you don't come into the Champions League wanting to avoid any team, but I'd like us to get as far as possible, and if that means we have to get a weaker team to get there, then it is what it is. But at the end of the day, we're gonna have to versing a good team. It's just like England. Like at the end of the day, you have to verse that good team towards the end, and 9 times out of 10, England lose because they're shit. So your thoughts, D, on the youngsters? You think they're going to get a game?
No, I think I'm the same with you guys. I think I think if we smash our group, I reckon give them a go against just to finish it off, and then I'm agreeing with you guys. I think we should try and smash out our group stage and just try and get to give them a go towards the end of the group.
I would like to see him if we're a couple of goals up, 3, 4, 5, 8 goals up.
Same.
Give them that.
Bring them on, 20 to go, 10 to go. Just give them that game time, especially the Thursday night games. They're different games than we used to. We haven't played in it for a couple of years, so these youngsters wouldn't have played in these games. So even if you bring them on, get them amongst the atmosphere of just a little bit of how it runs, pretty much. That would be the best way to go.
How the competition is, to be honest.
Yeah.
That's how the competition is. Yeah.
I think the same. I think the same, to be honest. I think, if we're winning, say, 2-0 and 70th minute comes along or 68th minute, bring them on. Give them a run. You don't name them for no reason, just to fill numbers. I think just give them a run. Not even then. I'm not worried about 2-0 at 70th minute. Come on, I know there's like 20 minutes to go, but still, give them a run. Like they're not. If they weren't that good, they won't be in the team. So I still think they'll bring something.
No, you're not.
I just don't see Conte echoing that sentiment. I feel like he doesn't even like making subs the best of times, so he's not going to bring 20 to go.
True that.
You know what? I have a theory. I have a
True
theory
that.
why, and I think it'll change now because we've got midweek games. I think he just wanted to play his team and get his team trying to hit a bit of form before all these games start coming on and we have to swap and change depending on the team. Now, I think we're going to go for a weakened team because we've got Man City. I think if we had someone that was in the bottom half, I think we'd go for a mix. But I do think we'd go for a strong team and then play kind of mix on the weekend. If you're not going to start one of the Kulu's son or Kane, you put in Richie. You played against Fulham. He'll probably start against Marseille. I think Basuma will start because he'll rest probably Højbjerg. But that's what I think Conte's done is he's limited his subs just so the team can try and grind out a win, try and get that belief, try and grind out results before all these games come thick and fast. And like I said the other day, Arsenal are flying at the moment. They just had their first loss against United, which is quite sweet. They've got 9 games in November, October, and they've got to play us, Liverpool, and City in that. That's it. That's with Europa League and Prem, and that could be make or break for their season. And I think what Conte was trying to do, this is just a theory. This is just my theory. I think that he was trying to solidify as many points with the strongest team as possible, even if it meant sticking them out there longer than he should have. Because when these games come up, he knows everyone's going to be rotating, so he needs to make sure. He wanted to get as many points as we could from the first 6 games before we start getting smashed with games before the World Cup. That's just what I think.
That's fair.
That's the way I've seen it.
That is.
That's a good point.
The only thing I'd have a problem with, the only thing I have against that is we are at home. Actually, it could be for or against, depending on the way you look at it. I personally would just bring out my strongest squad at home, try and get that 3 or 4-0 win, 3 or 4-1, something like that, win at home. And then when we verse them in the last leg, hopefully it's already redundant. We don't have to play anybody decent. But I'd be playing full strength squad if they can't play 3 games in a week. This early in the season.
It's hard.
That's on them.
I would, but then I'll be too scared to, because then I don't want my first team, like Son or Kane, to get injured. If one of them get injured, it's going to put a big
That's
Especially
just the
against
risk that we
City.
can't take, to be honest. But
Exactly.
yeah, exactly.
It's going to take a big stab at us. Yeah, we don't want that. So,
No.
look, I think, look, maybe a weakened team will probably be good, but then we want to go for that win, so we might have to go for a strengthened squad.
I think we go reverse. I know it sounds crazy, but the thing about the Champions League is that when you go away, like you look at Chelsea versus Zagreb, that crowd was crucifying them.
Yeah.
And they had their best squad. So for me, like it might even be better to play our better squad away to guarantee that away win, and then play a weakened team at home because the crowd will help. But then again, like we don't want to risk it. So it's kind of a risk playing a weakened team at home. But then I think it's also a risk playing a weakened team away, because especially if you're chucking on those young boys, and we're going away to Marseille. The French hate the English. They're going to lose their shit. We're going away to the Germans. They're not too bad. And the Portuguese are not too bad. But it's going to be like everyone hates the English. So an English team coming in to those countries, it's going to be very, very hostile. You probably need your senior players to pull it out. But then you might be right. If we bury them while we're at home, then it won't matter what happens at an away game.
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking. If we play a weakened team, and we get belted 3-0 at home, then we have to go to Marseille and play our full strength squad.
100%.
So why not just
100%.
try and bury it early?
I think the same. I think the exact same. Go out there strong. And I revert back to my last comment where I said, 2 or 3-0. But 2 or 3-0 at home, bringing on youngsters, I don't think we're worried, to be honest.
We have to be. We have to.
Yeah, I'm 100%. Like, we need to go out there and just kill it, as Conte says. Kill the game straight away. You know what I mean? Don't go out there assessing the game. Go out there for the win straight away. Like, every team does that, but just kill them. And then
what you said, if they're going to get injured, they're going to get injured.
Yeah,
you can't. If you're going into games thinking, I'm going to rest this player just in case the slight chance he gets an injury for this bigger team next game. That's just you're losing out.
We're more likely to drop points and then end up losing against the big team anyway.
Yeah.
But the thing is, everyone's tipping us to beat City this weekend as well.
I think we will. I think
we are there
tonight.
Yeah, we are there bogey.
With Marseille, they have a lot of ex-Prem or current on-loan Prem players. So just to quickly run through who they have that we would know. Pau Lopez was a backup goalkeeper for us a couple of years ago. Mm-hmm. They have Eric Bailly on loan from United. Kolasinac, I'm pretty sure they bought him off Arsenal now. And Nuno Tavares is there as well on loan. Guendouzi, who everybody knows, was hanging out the fucking car when they beat us 2-1 and ended up getting dropped. And then, Dimitri Payet, great striker great midfielder for West Ham, was banging in free kicks left, right, and centre. Under, who's a really good striker. Luckily, he's suspended, but he hasn't been as good as he used to be. But Alexis Sanchez is there as well. So Marseille are going to have a few players who have played against Prem teams before. Not that I'm worried about Tavares. Eric Bailly really hasn't done much for United. He's sitting on the bench behind Maguire, which I feel like that's more of a management problem than a player problem.
Absolutely.
Payet, he's probably the biggest threat that I think they have. I don't really know their team, but they are sitting second in the French league at the moment. And as much as
they're sitting second with 4 wins. 4 wins and a draw out of the last 5. Like that's pretty ridiculous stats.
So they're in form
in a farmers league, but coming second behind PSG.
They're still, they're in form. Yeah.
And the thing is, French teams have always done well against English teams. They've always brought out something out. The only problem is we've got to go in there and I think I agree with you boys though. Like if we go full strength, we have to bury them first half and then rest everyone for Man City that we're going to play them on the weekend.
Yeah.
But I'll put it to you boys. Do you think we're going to struggle with? I don't know what formation they play. I haven't actually checked on the formation.
I've been looking at it a little bit. It looks like they play a 3-4-2-1.
So someone like us.
Yeah, almost.
We struggle against that.
Yeah.
We struggle to break down teams with a lot of people in their midfield.
But I will say, that's when we're not having a full strength at playing at the back. We didn't have Romero for the last 2 games with Sanchez. And if Langley plays in front of Davies and we can feed the ball from the back and bring them forward, and the wing backs, Perisic and Royal, which we'll go to in a second about the Royal Doherty situation or the Spence situation. I think we can counter these five at the back teams or 3 at the back with 2 wing backs that counter us with it. It's just I don't think we had that ball playing centre back that can play short. Dyer can play long. It's just, and Romero can play short and long, but I feel like we need it on the left side. And if they pressure the right, Davies was just very much get the ball and then hoof it up, or he would try and overlap Perisic, and then if we get caught out, they've got an overlap at the back, and it just pretty much defies the point of having an extra centre back there. So. How are you boys feeling about tomorrow morning? I'm not asking for scores, but how do you feel like we're going to go?
I think we can get the win. I feel like
you confident.
Yeah, look,
you're planning to beat your house on it.
Oh, fucking not my house.
It's a nice house, bro. It's a fucking nice house.
Give me that paint.
Nah, your house, but not mine.
Yeah, the painting looks pretty good, eh?
Yeah. I can.
Look,
on that door right there, you fucking. Why not?
Just come in next year.
Nah, look.
Fuck that.
I just think. Look, we're at home. We should go in with a lot of confidence after the last week's game, and really put this team away. Look, I'm not saying it'll be a close game, but I just think, look, Marseille, they're on form at the moment, so they gotta come over to us and try to put the pressure on us. So we want to try to put the pressure back onto them. So I think I'm going in with a lot of confidence on this game, and I'm hoping the boys come out with a win for the first leg.
I'm just having a look at their last couple of games. They've played 6 in the league so far. They've only conceded 3 goals. They haven't versed anyone of note. They haven't versed anyone in like the top 6. So that's neither here nor there.
Yeah.
But in their last 3 games, in the last 3 games, they've scored 6 and haven't let in a goal.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, depending, because it's not a big travel from fucking France to London, but obviously their defense is pretty decent. So we need to go in there with an attacking mentality. If we can just attack them the way we did Fulham, we're going to look pretty
absolutely.
The good
I was going to say the exact same.
If they play Kolasinac on left wing back against Royal, he ain't going to do anything because he can't cross the ball
at all. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
It'll be everything through the middle, and it'll be everything through Payet. It'll just be that the wing backs provide the width because their midfield, their middle of the park's a lot better. Guendouzi and Payet are a lot better than their wing backs. Tavares is shit. He can't. All he is an Olympic sprinter, as they call him.
Well, I was gonna say, I was like I said, I've been going through it, and it hasn't looked like they've been giving a lot of game time to Payet, though he did miss last game. I don't know if it was an injury or something, but he wasn't on the bench either. So I don't know if they were full resting him for this game.
Makes sense.
But what I was gonna say is Payet against Royal might be a long night for Royal.
Yeah, it'd be a lot of steps for that bloke. I'll tell you right now.
Yeah,
against
exactly.
him, and he needs to come in the way he played against Fulham, put pressure on, and do some running. Like he's going to be on his bike a lot through that game.
But did anything come down his side against Chelsea? Because Chelsea's the most notable team we've played so far.
Yeah.
Did anything come down his wing? I can't remember.
Not
I
really.
always remember coming down the left side.
Not really, to be honest.
I remember them target. So I'm not worried about Royal. I'm not. As much it's weird to say that because I feel like Royals are weak link in the back.
Yeah.
3 days ago you wouldn't have been saying that, mate.
But you know what? Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Well, I've been up and down with him because
he's been
defensively he's good. It's just what I'm worried about is I still think that he's still the weakest defender. But they haven't got anybody notable up front. And that's where I feel like we're gonna our attack compared to their defense. I feel like Kane. I think this is the game that Son turns it on.
I hope so. I really
hope
hope
so.
so. I really
Needs
hope
to.
so.
If we
I
if
wouldn't
we
be,
went
I
how
wouldn't
we
be
had-
surprised though if
wow.
this is the game where Son gets a rest. I wouldn't be surprised at all because we've been talking about it
Nah,
for
I
weeks,
don't.
like how good he plays against City. Like
Yeah,
I don't
I
think
can't
he's
see
gonna
him getting rested. To be honest, no way. He needs that.
I
confidence boost,
can't
man.
see it
think
either,
this
but
is
I
the game.
would not be surprised if he checked the lineup
Yeah,
at 4 o'clock
yeah,
tomorrow
yeah.
morning, and
Mm.
he's just
I
like,
wouldn't
there's no Son,
mind
he's on the
it.
bench.
I wouldn't
I'm not
mind it,
against it.
and I wouldn't be against it if he gets brought on in the last 20 minutes to bury him
Mm.
if we need an
Yeah,
extra
yeah,
goal.
definitely.
I've always
Definitely.
thought that that's probably the best way to bring him back to form is to get him coming on late, running at people, going, Son, just
Fresh legs.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's a
the 70
machine.
minutes of energy that you have before, burn it in 20 minutes.
In
Yeah.
20, yeah.
Like I want to
100%.
see you coming off that field dead. Like I don't
Like
want to see
Richard- like
anything
Richard-
left.
Oh
Richarlison
yeah,
did.
definitely, yeah.
Like Richarlison's been doing. Every time he comes on, he's like fucking sprinting, chasing the ball.
He's burning it.
Um,
Yeah,
You know, he's putting his burners on and he's running at people. I like it. That's what I don't think he's going to get dropped. I think what Conte's going to do, because Son did look a lot better last game. He looked a lot more
100%,
confident.
I agree.
definitely,
said,
definitely.
If you prayed to his Korean God, like Delane said, if you prayed to his Korean God before the game, he would have that goal against that shot against the crossbar would have went in.
Oh,
and
yeah.
then
Oh,
we would
all
be
day
sitting
that
here
would've-
going,
all day
"Millions
that
of goals."
would've- yeah,
couple of
all
goals
day.
we should have scored.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
absolutely.
mean, we were very non-clinical against Fulham. We could have buried him 6-7-1.
Yeah.
We just didn't finish. So you're all on the couch of Son's getting rested, or do you think he's actually going to be pulled in?
I
And
don't
pulled
want
up
him
to
to be
play?
rested, but
Yeah,
if
I
he
think
does, I'm
it's
just going to
happening.
be like, okay, I completely understand why.
Yeah,
I'd
Yeah,
like to
yeah,
see him
I
play,
agree with that.
but I
wanna
don't think
see
I
him
want him to
play,
start. I think I want.
I
him to-
Yeah.
think one of our fun three is getting rested.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's Kane because Kane came
I
off
was-
Yeah,
against Fulham.
I was
Gonna
going to
say
say
the
the
same thing.
exact same thing, bro.
Because what you do is just move Son up front, and then he becomes
Yeah.
the focal point, and that'll be the better
Yeah.
chance for
You
him to
wouldn't put
score a
Richie
goal.
up front?
Nah,
Nah,
Richie
I
better off
wouldn't.
the left, I reckon.
I'll keep him off the left. Yeah,
Oh,
and
I think
Kulusevski on
Richie.
the right.
thing
I
is,
think
though,
Richie-
Bro, he's
with that you could interchange them though, and that's the thing that Kane and Son don't. Well, Kane and Son do sometimes, but Kane does it when he's going to put the ball in the box. With Sonny and Richie, Kula not so much because he hasn't got the pace to switch. You could interchange them like they, I know they're nowhere near the level of Messi, Suarez, and Neymar, but you could
Yeah.
always where they would interchange. They were all strikers and wingers. You could do that with Richarlison and Sonny.
like
Just interchange them.
Kulu's not quick by any means, but he's quicker than Kane. So if you do want to interchange, those front three would be the three that you do it on. Because
Yeah.
Kula's got
Richie,
strength.
I agree.
yeah, exactly. So, but like Richie and Son both are very, very quick. They both have that lightning pace. So if you want to interchange them, I reckon Kane will be the one to be rested. But
Yeah.
I also wouldn't be surprised if Richie came off the bench. And just if we needed someone to towel him up 60 minutes in and we're still even.
Well, it's his
that's
first
where-
Champions League game as well, so you
Yeah.
don't want to
Yeah.
put that mad pressure on him. But then I think he loves it anyway.
Oh, he's
I think
he's a great
he'll-
impact
he'll-
player.
I think he's up
he's
ready
all
for
for
it.
it. He's all for it. Yeah.
I think he's up and ready for it. So I think
Yeah.
he's ready to go for his first Champions
So in
League,
saying
so-
that, Jay, what you're saying before, where would the youngsters start? Where would you have them? Because you already said that.
SARS cover for midfield.
Yeah, but like Lenglet
Third
has to
part of the
start,
right.
Romero has to start. Do you put Tanganga in for Dyer?
No. More of the youngsters. It's. I'm surprised to see him in. I didn't think Tanganga would get in. With the comments that Conte's made, I didn't think Spence would get in. I didn't think Saar would get in, but I know we have to name a 25-man squad. So they're the more
Yeah, well,
senior
that's-
recognised youngsters.
The
Yeah.
next thing I
don't
was going to
think-
say, if you don't bring those guys in, who else would you bring in? You just
Yeah,
bring
isn't
in
that the
like further down youth players.
Yeah.
But talking on that, I know we're kind of veering off the Champions League topic.
Nah, don't worry about it.
But how fucking
Champions League's
good
not
is,
important. Everybody won it.
how good is Stain Scarlett? Did anybody
Oh.
watch that game?
Oh.
Peterborough?
You know
What did you
what?
reckon?
He is
He-
going to be a very world-class player. I'm telling you now. I'm calling it early, boys. And I think you will agree on that. Scarlett is
100%.
looking filth.
Well, me and
I've
Jay
heard
touched on
nothing.
this, and
I've
he
heard
said
nothing
he's
but
gonna
good
be a
things.
superstar. I reckon.
Oh, absolutely. He's cracking it.
What's that defender we just bought? Ugun.
Udinese. Oh, not Udinese.
That's
Udigi. Yeah, he scored.
I've heard nothing but praise about. I've heard
Yeah,
he's literally going to
same.
be a worldie.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I watched-
I
I
can't
watched
say I've
the-
watched many of his games, but
I watched the replay of his goal, and even the commentator was like, "Tottenham have got an amazing player in this kid."
Oh, yeah.
Like I said last year, he was the top. Him and Perisic were the top two attacking left backs. So if you think about it, Sessegnon has to pull his finger out because if Udogie comes in next year and absolutely bosses it, he's going to be on the out because Perisic should be here for an extra year.
I don't see Perisic staying like much longer than like one more year after this, though.
It doesn't need to, though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, though. Like he might only be around for this year and next year, but even then, Cess will still need to show his worth. And saying that,
Yeah.
don't think he had a bad game at all against Fulham.
I don't think so
He
either.
was up there with one of our best.
No, like as what we said, Jay, the other night when doing the fan cam, like Cez was on his bike a few times, you know, like, and he's got the pace too, but he just hasn't got that. He takes that one touch too many, you know.
Yeah.
Like if you're burning down that side and you can see the player making that run, put it in. Don't make the extra touch, you know, to cement yourself. Okay, the ball's going to go in now. Pop it in, bang it in. And I like Cez.
It takes time.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah,
He does. Well, anyway, boys, I got to love you and leave yous. Thanks for having me. Good to see you.
All good, brother.
Anytime, Judy.
Got you, bro.
All I've got to say is come on, you Spurs, for the morning.
Come on, you Spurs.
All right.
Come on,
And
Spurs.
I will catch you next time, my brothers.
All
See you,
right,
mate.
thanks for coming, bro.
See you, bro. Catch you, bro.
But back onto that, I was just thinking then as you were talking about the Cess. It's not a bad thing to have. Perisic, Udogie comes into the league next year, first time in the Prem. Perisic is pretty much hitting that peak where he's like, all right, I might either retire or take a step back. He was brought in to coach Sessegnon, so Cess can start reaching the potential that everyone thinks he has, or everyone saw that he had at Fulham, and then we have Udogie coming in, challenging him. And we're playing the wing back system still. We'll probably have the two best wing backs in the league. That's put wing backs, not right left back, because obviously Cancelo's still in the league. That fucking Malacia looks pretty fucking good at United. You know, Trent, Robertson. I'm not saying they're the best left or right backs, but in terms of wing back positions up and down that wing, we could possibly have in the next 2 years the two best left wing backs if they reach their potential. Which isn't
It'll be hard for both of them to reach their potential. Like, it's hard to say they're both the best left backs in the league.
They can be.
At a time. No, but you gotta play one at a time. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But it's
I don't think I've ever
thing.
heard say someone's had the two best strikers in the league, but only one's being played.
Well, when Cancelo
No,
came to City, he was behind Walker and Zinchenko, and he was the best right back in the Serie A when he came. And he had to, and then all of a sudden he played left back and absolutely dominated.
Yeah,
probably the best technical right back in the league, Cancelo. What are you going to say, D?
No, I just think yeah, you guys are touching on it. I think look, if Udogie comes back next season, it'll probably take him a while to try and fit into the Premier League because Premier League is a more physical competition than the Serie A. Where if you watch the Serie A, it's not really that physical. So look, he can. I reckon he will reach his potential under Conte, and I think we will have pretty much a banging left wing back coming through for us. So I hope we do because at the moment, look, the Fulham game he was on pace, but then there's other games where he's just those last minute decisions he makes. And it's just,
well, even in the Fulham game, that he could where he went into the box and Kane was in the middle. I felt like he should have rolled it earlier. He left it too late, and he does that. From what I've seen, there's a few times where he gets into that position where he's running to the byline, and all he has to do is roll it into the middle or roll it across the box, and he waits that extra second, that extra stride to try and make the defender to commit, and it always gets blocked. And I feel like there was a time where you could see it where he takes one more stride where he could have hit it off his left straight away, took one more step on his right, then hit it with his left again, and then the defender blocked it at Fulham. And I was like, you could have just rolled that a second earlier, and Kane was in. Yeah. Like Kane was in, exactly. Ready to smack it on his left or right foot. He would have buried it. Would have been another goal. And then it also he's offside for Richarlison. Like there was really no need for him to be offside there. You know, the ball he was had a yard of space. He was going to be on his bike by himself the whole time. But transitioning out to the Champions League, the thing is about Champions League is every team's there to try and prove himself and win it. So our formation could actually benefit us in the Champions League because, especially at home, Marseille are going to come out and try and, with Guendouzi, with it, his history of us as well. There's a few players there, Arsenal players or, ex-Prem players. They're going to try and come back and prove their point. They're coming back to England. They're going to try and prove their point, and they're going to try and prove it against us. And it could work in our favour because when we counter-attack with Kane, Son, Kulu or Richarlison, even our wing-backs, Perisic, Cess, even Royal lately. Royal's been getting a bit up that wing a bit more than he usually does. We could hurt teams in this comp. That's why everyone's saying we could kill City because we have the perfect team to beat teams that just want to attack.
You don't think Marseille is going to come here and park the bus?
No, I think they're going to go for it, especially if they play wing backs. I think they're gonna rely on their back three and they're going to try and take it to us. Or you might be right; they might try and just get through with a draw and try and smack us at home.
Personally, that's what I would be leaning more towards.
Then again, we can, if they do park the bus, we got the attack to break them down. So
I'd like to see us change to load in the midfield a bit more, even if it means Kane dropping deeper and having Kulu, Son, or Richarlison, whoever's on out of those three, up front, and just having Kane drop the ball, get the ball a bit deeper. Bentancur try to link in a bit more and just push the wing backs up as high as possible. Just so, because Kane's got the creative pass. Like him and De Bruyne are the two best playmakers in the league, hands down. De Bruyne is better, obviously, because he's in that position all the time. But Kane can hit the same passes that De Bruyne can. And why not utilize him in a different role if we're struggling to create,
Yeah, I think so. I think, or even just go for like a was it a 3-5-2, even something like that.
Drop Kane into the midfield.
Yeah,
I'll just play him as like a cam.
Maybe
a number nine.
Kulusevski.
See, I don't know about Kulu because I think he has the attributes of a center attacking mid, but then I've heard that he likes playing wing. I think he likes playing on the inside forward.
Saying that, do you reckon Hill gets a run then? I think against these, he's obviously a slighter build than everyone else. He might be a good shout to if we want to play two up front and have Kane and Son or Son and Richie. Have Hill sit behind him, who's slighter. He's too slight for the Prem right now, but he'll be fantastic against these shitty Champions League teams.
See, this whole narrative of he's too light, though, you look at Bernardo Silva, you look at Phil Foden, you look at David Silva. These players weren't big and tough. You look at Modric. Modric played in the midfield when the Prem was still thriving with Paul Scholes. Carrick was still there. You had Arsenal didn't really have too many, but you had these players come into the Prem that were lightweight, all technical, and they thrived. I think Hill's got something there that we need to unlock. I just think he hasn't had enough game time.
Yeah,
he hasn't had any chances. Like Fulham, I don't know why we didn't just chuck him on. I don't think he was even on the bench, but I don't know why we don't put him on. We had 7 fucking defenders on the. Well, 5 defenders, 4 defenders, a goalkeeper, 2 and then 2 set of defensives. So, for me, I wouldn't mind. And the thing is, the French and especially against the French and Portuguese teams, he would do well against the Portuguese teams because they're the same as the Spanish league, but just not as
it'd be
good
hard
quality.
to bring him on against Fulham because he wasn't on the bench.
No, yeah, that's what I'm saying. We didn't have him on the bench, but it would be nice to have him on the bench.
I'm just saying that because that's very strange to me that he wasn't at least on the bench.
Well, I love Tanganga, but I would have taken Tanganga off that bench and put on Hill just to have another attacking option. If we're 1-1, we need to win a game, and you've got all out attack, and you need to take Son or Kane off as a rest. What better than to chuck on Hill and Richarlison? I'm not saying Hill's the answer, but I think Hill has a lot more to offer than what he has shown. He just needs time. He was killing it last year back in Spain. I know everyone says Spain's a different league, but David Silva was in Spain, kills it here. Ronaldo killed it before he went to Spain. Casemiro looks good. Varane looks really good now, even though he was in Spain. There's a lot of players that have come from the Spanish leagues that have proved it. I just think that because of his age and because of his body, his build, we've kind of just went, he's not gonna cut it because it's physical. But if his technique's good enough, he doesn't need to be physical. He can win the fouls.
Yeah,
We'll just
exactly.
run around with
I
Tucker
totally
killing him.
agree. I totally
agree with
agree.
that.
I just feel like to play devil's advocate against what you guys are saying with the 3-5-2. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's what I think Conte will go like. If it's not broke, we're playing this same formation now of the 3-4-3. I don't think he's going to change it too much. I'd like
I
to
don't
see him
think so
change it
either.
if I'd like to see him change it if we're struggling a little bit and we didn't another player in that midfield, but I don't see it happening.
Nah,
I'd like to
You're
see him on the
probably
bench
right.
though. I would love to see him on the bench.
I just think if we've got 5 subs in the league and we're now hitting Champions League midweek, there's no harm.
As to what you were saying, why do we have Davies, Sanchez, and Tanganga all on the bench against Fulham? Like that's just the only attacking minded person we have is Kulusevski. Why can't we have Hill there? It's very strange to me.
Personally, I don't know. I think that was one of the big things that I brought up with Lee was that there's no need for us to have that many defenders. But then
Yeah.
it's I don't know. It's Conte knows better than us. He's a manager for a reason. He's won titles. He's won cups. You know, he's won the Prem already with Chelsea. So I'm not going to doubt him too much. But I do feel like Hill needs to have a bit of a run. He's always looked lively when he's come on. I'm not saying he's played
Yeah, I
well,
totally
but
agree.
he's always looked like he wants the ball. He's not scared to be on the ball. And I feel like we have players that are scared to be on the ball at the moment. I feel like Cess is a bit scared to be on the ball. He's getting there, but I feel like he's scared. Royal just kind of doesn't want to do anything with it. He just wants to give it to someone else for them to do something. So it wouldn't bother me if we played him like how Arsenal playing Saka at the moment, where he's playing on the right and he cuts in. You know, Richie can cover the left, and then you have Hill covering the right, or switch him around if you want to go for a dominant foot on the left side, and because he's left-footed as well. We don't have many left-footers in the team. Kulu's the only other one that we have that I know of. Oh, and
Langley,
Lenglet,
isn't it
obviously,
Langley?
and Davies, but you know they're defenders,
They're
so we're not really
defenses.
talking in that way.
Yeah.
We're going to get close to wrapping this up, but I want to get your thoughts on the prediction for the game, who's going to score, and I'm going to suggest, who do you think is going to be man of the match? I'll go with you, D, first. I'll go with you, D.
This is a tough one. I'll probably have to go. As much as I want him to score, I think I have to go Sonny. I want Sonny to score. It's so hard because there's so many players on the team that could just turn up and just show and put
So
much work in.
you got Sonny to score. So let's go score prediction. What do you think? How many goals do you reckon we're going to score?
Okay,
what do
score
you think the score's
prediction.
going to be?
I'm gonna go with a clean sheet. Maybe a 2. Actually, no. I might go 2-1 to score. Son and Richie. Yeah, I might go Son and Richie to score.
For mine, it's hard doing this because now you've got it in my head that we might play the Young'uns. I think it'll be 1-0. They're obviously very good defensively, and I don't want to concede. That's why I'm doing the 0. It's hard to tell which one of our front three is going to miss out, but I can see it being 0-0 after 70. Whoever that fourth person is coming on and scoring that, and I reckon he's going to bring out the same squad as we played Fulham with. So I reckon it's going to be Kulu that comes on and scores that goal for us that we need. As for man of the match, Bentancur. He's going to be running them ragged. I think he's just on right now after that Fulham game. He's worked his dick off. So I think, again, it's going to be Bentancur to running rings around him.
D, you didn't go your man of the match, so who you call the man of the match?
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Man of the match. Might go the Viking. Might go Højbjerg.
Højbjerg.
Might go someone.
Before I give my prediction,
might go Højbjerg.
Lee's called at 3-1 with Kane man of the match. Lee had to jet off, but he's still watching and supporting. So shout out to you, Lee, for your prediction. And if you're watching or you're watching it back on YouTube, Twitch, or the Facebook page or the group, put in the comments, put in the post on the page, and you can't do it on Twitch, but put down your scorers and your goal prediction, and also your man of the match. We want to know who you think is going to score, who you think is going to get man of the match. And I'm going to go for a contentious 4-0. I think we're going to dominate him. I think Conte is going to play his strongest team to win it for the first half, and I think he's going to tell them go gun ho, and I'm ripping you off. I think it's going to be a double by Kane. A Son's going to score, and I'm gonna call it. I think Sass is going to get on the score sheet too.
Oh wow!
So I'm going confident. I'm going with my chest up. As much as I've been saying that I'm worried or that we have to be cautious, I think we have to brush these teams aside. I think Conte is going to try and get him to do it in the first half so we can have a big rest before City. But my man in the match, Lenglet. I think Lenglet is going to, if he starts, he's going to have a boss game. I think he's going to control their strikers, and he's going to be feeding Bentancur or Cesc or Perisic down the left. And I feel like he's going to have a really good game for us if he starts.
Sorry, just before we get back to that. So do you think we pull out our full squad? Do you reckon pretty much the same team that versus Fulham is the same team that versus them?
I think Perisic doesn't start. I think Royal might not start either. And I don't think one of the front three start. I think Richie starts. So the same as Fulham, but I just think, we're going to pull out a couple of changes.
So like where do you think the changes are going to come?
Well, I think Cesc starts. I don't think Perisic starts. I don't think Royal.
Well, Cesc started against Fulham. So.
Yeah, but like for the main 11, I don't think we're going to pull out our strongest. I don't think Kane starts as much as I say it. I think maybe Kane gets rested.
Kane double coming on in the 85th minute.
Oh, yeah. I reckon it's 70th minute if we're like 1-0 up and Conte's like, all right, we need to win this game, go out and win it. And then I think Basuma's going to start. I think Højbjerg will get a rest. And then I wouldn't be surprised if he rests Romero for the City game and bring on Sanchez, because Sanchez was playing well before Romero came back. So I think he might rotate it because of the game we have on the weekend, City. I think that maybe Romero gets put on the bench to start. Or Dyer, I don't know. He might take Dyer out and put Lenglet in the middle, put Davies on the left, and put Sanchez on the right. That's a really bad 3, though. The only person I trust there is Lenglet.
He's played one fucking game for us.
Yeah. But before we start wrapping it up, I did want to mention the other day, we completely forgot to mention it, but happy birthday to Spurs, 140 years. Founded in 1882. Just wanted to give a shout out to the club. The club that we love. Hopefully we can bring back the glory days of Bill Nicholson.
Fucking nice.
Bring it. I look at Kane and he reminds me of Hoddle and Greaves, and I feel like we've got 140 years of amazing history. The first team to do the double. The first English team to do the double. The first English team to win a European Cup. So we've got history. We just have to start making history now. Unfortunately, our last trophy was was in 14 years ago, 2008, against Chelsea in the League Cup final. So we need to start adding to that.
Yeah, definitely. Trophy this year is coming. A trophy this season is coming. Under Conte, we got one coming. Hopefully.
Just quickly on that. Would you prefer any trophy or do you want a big one?
I think realistically, we look at the cups. Like any trophy is a trophy. I'm not talking about fucking Audi Cup trophy or the Emirates Cup. I'm talking any trophy. But if I was to win anyone, it'd have to be the two big ones. Either the Champions League or the Prem, whichever one. I don't think we got the Prem. Champions League's our best spot in a knockout tournament. It's always luck. It's luck. It's not. It's not.
It's better.
The best team doesn't always win.
Yeah.
Some teams go undefeated until the semis and get swapped.
Bounced
Get
out,
fucking
yeah.
swamped. You look at Real Madrid last year. They beat every team like in the last minute up until even in the final. Like they beat Chelsea last minute, beat Man City last minute, and then just beat Liverpool. Or Liverpool weren't that good. So, but realistically, I think FA, as Lee said, I think the FA Cup. I think that's the trophy we'll get this year.
FA or Carabao Cup, one of them. I'll be happy with.
But we have to win one. We have to.
Mhm.
It's an expectation that we should have now, especially with Conte as manager and the players that we have and the team that we have. Not saying it's the best team, but we have a good team that, I think is close to what we had with Poch in terms of the actual potential that we have in the squad. So I think we have to win something. We can't go another couple of years without anything. If we don't win anything this year, Conte's gone. Kane's probably gone. I wouldn't be surprised if Son gets prized away, but he seems like he's Tottenham through and through, so I don't think he'll be going.
Yeah. No. But yeah, you're right. We
I
have
would
to win
like to
something.
see. Yeah, I would like to see floodgates open after we get one trophy. Because we have the team now, we have the squad depth to be there or thereabouts in pretty much everything.
Well, we're the only team in the league that has everything bar the team that's like top notch. So we have, state-of-the-art facilities, state-of-the-art stadium. We have some of the best, setups. We're financially one of the best teams. Like we can earn the most in the league. Wait, what was that? Nah, that can't be right.
That's not
No
right.
way.
No way.
No, he has. So, guys,
shit.
breaking news. We've just received news that Thomas Tuchel's just been sacked.
Oh, wow.
Damn, that
Oh,
is
he has.
huge.
Wow. He
No
has.
way.
Fuck, shouldn't have drew to Tottenham, mate. Fucking knew it all along.
Fuck.
That's
What
crazy.
the
Okay,
hell?
just quickly then, who replaces him? Where do they go?
I'm just literally gutted how
I've heard Poch. I've heard Poch is being touted to replace him, but
I don't see
Poch
Poch
won't
at
touch it.
Chelsea.
That game,
I don't
when,
think Poch.
Yeah,
they
not
had the
after
ball at the end.
the Battle of Stamford Bridge. There's no way.
yeah, where we pretty much snapped nearly every leg of the Chelsea team. Like I'm pretty sure Dyer and Lamella snapped legs that day. What Vertonghen or Odavaro clawed out the Costa's fucking face, and then at the end, Poch
that was
is running
Dembele.
in. Oh yeah, it was Dembele. He did. I thought it was Vertonghen did it.
Nah, it was Dembele.
Yeah, wow.
Sorry, man. It
Wow.
doesn't show your name, but thanks for joining the live.
Yeah, cheers, mate.
We'll have to hit you up on Facebook to thank you for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Tuchel has been sacked. That's a good and a bad thing for me. I feel like Tuchel was doing really bad last year. So, but I can't see any manager that's good enough to come in that will rival the managers that are in the league at the moment.
100%.
There's no one available apart from Poch, and Poch ain't going to go there. He won't go there. That's why he go to Arsenal.
Nah.
At least I'm hoping he doesn't. Don't tarnish your legacy with us.
I'll tell you what, but I'd love a rebuilding phase at Chelsea. Get them down to 10th in the league, humble them a little bit. That'd be fantastic.
I've heard shouts of Graham Potter from Brighton. Now I don't know if you guys
Brighton are playing fantastically.
Well,
Yeah.
Graham Potter played some of the best football in the league.
Yeah.
He has consistently played some of the best football out of the top 10. Well, they're actually in the top 8 now. They have been consistently the last couple of years. So, and they've just lost their two best players in Morpay and Basuma, and they're still sitting just below us.
Potter ball, mate. Potter ball.
I wouldn't mind a bit of Harry Potter or Graham Potter at Tottenham if Conte goes and Poch doesn't come back. But I think that's crazy, guys. I honestly thought that he would have a couple more weeks, considering they just let him drop money on Koulibaly. They got Zakaria,
Sterling,
Aubameyang. Honestly, and the thing is, Aubameyang is when he was at Dortmund, he had Aubameyang and Ousmane Dembele, and I'm pretty sure he nearly won the league with him. So, it's quite crazy the fact that they've just sacked him. But thanks, Lee, for letting us know on that, because I wasn't going to check my phone until after the live, so that's insane.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
But anyway, guys, we've been going for about an hour now, and you're a wizard, Graham. I'm a what?
That's a good comment.
We're gonna wrap it up here. So we're not going to be doing a watch along tomorrow morning as we all have work. Unfortunately, we'd love to do this full time, but we have work.
Yep.
We will be doing a match review and probably some fan cams, and then probably tomorrow night or Friday night, depending on what time the boys can get on. But we will be reacting to the Champions League match, and we'll be doing a bit of a preview for the match against Man City, which we will be doing a watch along. It's at 2:30 a.m. Australian Standard Time, so it'll be 3:30. No, it's not. It's 5:30 in England, I think. I can't remember times. Math is hard at this time of night. It's a 5:30 kickoff in England. We'll be doing a live. Make sure you join us on our Twitch, on our Facebook group, or on our YouTube, whichever one you decide to join us on. If you're watching, please smash a like and subscribe. Hit the bell on YouTube, follow on Twitch, and join the group on Facebook. Before we go, guys, any other thoughts before we head off?
We just need to win this game. We've been saying that at the end of every stream ever. But if we want to go out and prove a point in this Champions League, we can't rest on our laurels. We have to go out there and smash them. We have to go out there and show them that we're here to play. Like, I won't take a draw. Like, if it's a 2-2 draw, I won't be happy at all.
Yeah. No, I agree on that. I think we should, because we're at home, we should definitely have the advantage. Go there.
Especially because we're at home.
Prove a point. Pull it away early if we have to. And then move on to the City game and just hopefully we can work on that. So, yeah. So, and also, sucked in Chelsea.
It's always
they lost and they've lost their manager. So on that note, boys, we're gonna love yous and leave yous. Thank you to Nene, Delane, and Lee who departed us earlier for coming on tonight. Especially in Oz, it's a bit hard to get out content when we're doing it always at night. But I appreciate the effort, boys, and make sure you like and subscribe. Catch us on Sunday morning, 2:30 a.m. Australian Standard Time, and we'll see you then, guys. So, as they always say here at Total Oz Spurs, stay Spursy.
Stay Spursy, boys. Cheers.
See you, boys.